Right now, while you're watching this, your home is quietly deceiving you. You believe those walls are keeping you safe. You believe the insulation above your ceiling is your shield. You believe that if the grid fails, you'll simply turn on your backup heater and stay warm while others suffer. That belief is wrong, and if you rely on it, it can cost you your life in just 3 days. Here's the chain of events. The power goes out maybe tomorrow, maybe next winter. The timing doesn't matter. Your furnace shuts down. And within the next 72 hours, your modern, well-built house turns into something you never expected, a massive refrigerator. A sealed box of cold with you trapped inside. And this is the part almost no one understands. The better your home is insulated, the worse the situation becomes. That expensive insulation won't rescue you. It locks you into a thermal death spiral. What you're about to learn is something nearly every prepper gets wrong. Survival here has nothing to do with hoarding fuel or buying a stronger heater. It comes down to one unforgiving law of physics, a law your house is already using against you. The truly dangerous part is that most people only realize this after they've already burned through their fuel. They're sitting in a 40-degree house, heater running nonstop, watching the last propane tank empty while the cold refuses to leave. At that point, it's already too late. This isn't a theory. It's not speculation. People die every winter from this exact failure, freezing to death inside insulated homes while neighbors can't understand how it happened. You have one opportunity to understand this before it matters. One chance to rethink your entire survival plan before reality forces the lesson on you. So here's the question you should be asking yourself right now. When your house drops to 40 degrees, your backup heater is running, and you're still shivering, will you know what to do? Or will you repeat the same fatal mistake everyone else makes? Because there's something architects rarely talk about. Something HVAC engineers understand but don't explain. Something that changes how you must prepare. Your house isn't a shelter. It's a thermal battery. And when the grid fails, that battery charges itself with cold. Let's start with the obvious failure point. The grid goes down. The gas stops flowing. The furnace in your basement, the system designed to push warm air through every room, shuts off. That's not the real problem. The real danger is what follows. Why does a 70-degree home fall to 40 and then seem to stay there? Why does every attempt to reheat it fail? Why does the inside feel colder than standing outdoors? Once you understand this, you'll never look at your house the same way again. Here's the reality. Your home is not a thermos. It's a thermal battery. Right now, while everything works, it's being constantly charged. Heat is stored in drywall, wooden studs, concrete, furniture, cabinets, floors, every solid object inside your house. The insulation slows heat loss, and your furnace refills the energy every 20 minutes. The system stays balanced. When the power fails, that stored heat begins leaking out through every surface and gap. Insulation only delays the process. It does not stop it. After a day, the temperature drops. After 2 days, it drops again. By the third day, the house reaches 40 degrees or lower. And this is where the trap closes. Once the inside temperature matches the outside, insulation no longer protects you. It now traps the cold just as effectively as it once trapped warmth. Your house becomes a sealed cold storage unit, and every wall, floor, and piece of furniture becomes a cold sink pulling heat away from anything warmer, including your body. This is why hypothermia happens indoors. The environment isn't just cold. It's actively draining heat faster than your body can replace it. Sit on the couch and it feels icy because it's charged to 40 degrees. Your bed, your carpet, your walls, all of it is pulling warmth from you continuously. Now comes the compounding failure. You turn to your backup plan. A propane heater, a kerosene unit, A generator-powered space heater. You calculated the BTUs. You thought it was enough. It isn't. You're not heating air. You're fighting tens of thousands of pounds of cold material. Every wall and floor absorbs heat instantly. A small heater can't overcome that mass. You burn fuel endlessly, yet the house refuses to warm. Modern homes make this worse. They're designed for centralized HVAC systems that push heat everywhere through ductwork. Open layouts and high ceilings become thermal disasters when the grid fails. The warm air rises, spreads, and disappears into cold mass. Older stone and brick homes suffer the same fate. Once those walls go cold, they steal heat for weeks unless constantly fed by large fires. This leads to the downward spiral. You huddle near the heater. Fuel disappears. The house stays cold. Physics wins every time. So here's the solution, and it feels wrong. Stop trying to heat the house. Instead, abandon the house as a living space while still using it as a weather shield. You are no longer heating a structure. You are creating a microclimate. Choose one small interior room, the smallest possible, fewer exterior walls, surrounded by other rooms. That space becomes your entire world. Seal it off. Close the door. Block gaps with towels or clothing. The rest of the house is now just a wind barrier. Next, insulate inside the room. Hang blankets, sleeping bags, tarps, or plastic on the walls and ceiling. You are creating a dead air barrier between yourself and the cold mass. Add a heavy curtain or blanket over the doorway to limit air exchange. Only now do you use your heater. You're heating a tiny volume of air, not the entire house. The same heater that failed before becomes powerful. Fuel lasts weeks instead of days. You're warm because the cold walls are no longer touching you. You're living in a protected air pocket, the way humans survived before central heating ever existed. Your mind will fight this. Emotionally, it feels wrong to abandon your home. But comfort thinking kills people. The house is not your friend without power. It's just a shell. Once the microclimate works, secondary issues follow. The rest of the house becomes cold storage for food. Water must be protected from freezing. Moisture and ventilation must be managed. Combustion heaters require airflow and carbon monoxide detectors. Cabin fever becomes a real threat. This is not comfortable. It's survival. And survival means accepting that normal life is temporarily over. Your house was built for cheap, constant energy. Without it, the system turns hostile. The only winning move is adaptation. Your home is not a shelter. It's a system. And without the grid, that system fails. Stop planning how to heat your house. Start planning which small corner of it you'll live in. That decision is what keeps people alive when everything else freezes.